Welcome to another episode of Adventure Beyond 60. Ted, Debbie, Sam in the back. Well, it's the end of January 2023. It's a beautiful day today. We're still in a holding pattern waiting for our Patriot X3 trailer to get out of customs. So we decided to make a day trip out here to Anza Borrego Desert State Park. It's a beautiful day. Visibility is pretty good. Barely a cloud in the sky. So it seemed like a good day to come out, check out a couple of canyons, but look for some wildflowers. California's had a lot of rain this January, and it's even out here in the desert. So I expect we'll see some wildflowers today. It seemed like a great day just to come out, cruise around the desert. Glad you could join us, so come on along and let's see what we find out here. We made it to Fish Creek Wash off of Split Mountain Road. We're gonna air down here. This road is very sandy in the beginning, and then there's some very heavy washboards, so airing down is gonna make the ride a lot nicer. And really the most important thing about airing down for me is the vehicle just doesn't get pounded as much, and we don't get bolts loosening up and things like that as quickly, at least. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna air down. We're gonna drive up Fish Creek Wash and through Split Mountain, and then maybe head up to Sandstone Canyon, which is a beautiful slot canyon to drive up. Should be really pretty. California, as I mentioned earlier, has had a lot of rain this month, so hopefully we get to see some wildflowers on the way up. Glad you're along with us. We'll see you down the trail. Hi. Can I help?
After a very short drive up Fish Creek Wash, we begin to make our way into Split Mountain. Split Mountain has literally been split in half thanks to numerous earthquakes and the power of erosion via Fish Creek Wash. The entire area at one time had been completely submerged under the ocean. One of the more famous rock formations in Split Mountain is called the anticline. Recent studies of this formation have led to the belief that it's not an actual anticline, but rather was formed in just a few seconds when a landslide crashed into the soft sea bottom of the early Gulf of California and folded the bottom into the arch shape we see today. Driving through a mountain that's been split in half really gives you a great opportunity to look at some fantastic geological formations, from layer upon layer of ancient sedimentary rock to holes and caves carved in the rock by high winds, and other pockets carved into the rock by massive flash floods coming through the canyon. Though it might be slow going, the Split Mountain area can be accessed with a two-wheel drive vehicle.
It looks like there's a bit of a sandstorm heading our way. That is not fog out there. Oh, we have a nice carpeting of wildflowers out here. It's the beginning of springtime in the desert.
After passing the turnoff for the Diablo drop-off, we made our way up the last couple of miles before we made the turn into Sandstone Canyon. its tall, sheer walls that can be very close together at times, heading up Sandstone Canyon, you feel more like you're on a hike than on a drive. However, the scenery goes by at a much quicker pace. This narrow obstacle is only about a quarter mile from the end of the road. Many people park their vehicles here and finish the road on foot. At the end of the road, we stopped to grab some lunch and let Sam bask in the warm sunshine.
Well, Sandstone Canyon is amazing. You have these beautiful rock walls that have all of these different formations and shapes and textures to them. And then the lighting comes in and it projects the shadows onto the rock walls. And it's amazing. Very textured, very beautiful, and a perfectly beautiful blue sky today. No clouds. Dead silence. It's perfect.
After lunch, we were more than happy to retrace our steps and enjoy the view back down Sandstone Canyon. When we reached the mouth of Sandstone Canyon, we turned right to head back down Fish Creek Wash. During lunch, we decided that our next waypoint would be an area called the Slot.
We finished doing Fish Creek and Split Mountain, and now we've come over to the Slot, and we're going to give you a little tour down in the Badlands of the Slot. So hop on board and let's get down there before it gets dark.
The Slot itself is actually a very narrow slot canyon that's a hiking trail, not a driving trail. From the parking lot for hikers, you drive about a mile across a mesa before you reach the famous drop-off that takes you down into Borrego Mountain Wash. Sitting at the top of this drop-off, it looks pretty steep. But once you get in it, it's really a lot of fun, assuming you have a suitably equipped vehicle.
we go over the next little drop. Last time I went down this one, I scraped something. I remember it well. Let's see if I can avoid that this time. There we go. Nice and easy.
Like Sandstone Canyon, Borrego Mountain Wash is a slot canyon. Its walls might not be as high as Sandstone Canyon, but as the road twists and winds its way down the canyon through the beautiful rocks, it's still an awesome drive.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising, watching out for number one. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Today is just today and not tomorrow. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now, you gotta get going. Easy now. Be hard working so you can be deserving of the rest that you are given.
We just came down the drop off for the slot, and then we came from there, came down through Borrego Mountain Wash, and we're now at the opening of the wash. Behind us are the Badlands, at the top of which is Fonts Point, for those of you that know the Anza Borrego area. Sun's going down, beautiful sunset colors, and just what a great drive today. And the slot in that Borrego Wash is just a spectacular slot canyon to drive through. All right, so now we're off. We're gonna be driving through some more open land. We'll swing around. If we have time, we'll go up into Hawk Canyon, and we'll see you down there. Let's go.
You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now. Get along.
On our way back out to the road, we made the turn for Hawk Canyon, a very popular area for dispersed camping that really doesn't require clearance to get into it, though I would recommend four-wheel drive for the occasional deep sand.
You got
I first came to Hawk Canyon back in the 1980s on a four-wheel drive tour led by one of the state park rangers.
You gotta get going. Easy now.
Well, that's about it for today. Really glad you could join us. Just a spectacular place. You could spend days out here in Anza Borrego driving around just before you could see everything. Between the slot canyons and the Badlands and the wonderful off-roading, we're so lucky to have a place like this almost in our backyard. We're gonna head into Borrego Springs and catch some dinner, and then we're gonna drive home. But we're really glad you could come along with us. And remember, if you haven't done so, it really helps the channel out a lot if you could subscribe and like. We'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you again next time, right here on Adventure Beyond 60.